Oh my gosh, am I in already? Assalamualaikum, selamat Hari Raya. Maaf Zahir dan Batin from the Iking Azmis. Assalamualaikum. How's everyone feeling on the first day of Raya? My golly. Hi Cheryl, hi everyone. Okay, so we are streaming live over Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, as well as Instagram Live. So if you are watching this over IG Live and it gets cut off later on when we share some videos that we've managed to compile at the 11th hour, just bits and pieces before I actually publish the official vlog, then you can go and head over to my Daphne Iking Facebook page or my YouTube page, alright? So, Sat. I was practically still editing stuff 3 minutes before we went live. Okay, so, kejap Alright, so first and foremost, as we all know, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, virtually all Muslims, is everything okay? I can see that my studio director, aka producer, aka husband, aka partner is a bit macam dekancong, so I'm a bit like, why, what's wrong? Are you okay? Are we alright? Do I continue? Okay, we'll continue. So as we all know, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, virtually all Muslims around the world have been fasting under some sort of lockdown, circuit breaker, or in our case, MCO or CMCO, whatever it is, that has severely limited our freedom of movement, including the much important feature which everyone, or at least a lot of Muslims out there, miss, is the Tarawih prayers that we have every night, ideally in congregation. So congregation, macam salah saja saya sebut tu, macam saya mau calm down dulu ba ni habis. You'll find out in a bit. And of course today is the first day of Raya, so we have come a long way. All our frontliners have been working non-stop. So hopefully, despite the fact that our government has given a bit of ease or loosen up the ease, what am I saying? Basically ease our first day of allowing 20 packs of guests, which only include your closest friends and family, into your house for visiting. You still have to make sure that you're practicing social distancing, getting the SOPs done, because at the end of the day, I truly believe that life has to go on, but there is a new norm. My husband hates me when I keep saying, oh, the new norm, but it is the new norm, and I really hope that everyone is practicing the SOPs wherever you are. And if for those of you who have been following our shows since we first started during the first MCO, I'm sure all of you know that I've been without a helper because she was stuck in Pahang and she couldn't come back because of the travel ban. And then there's been an experience of highs and lows. Some of you who are my closest friends would know because I have uploaded macam mau download upload bahkan have uploaded to you. And there's also another reason why I'm a little bit more crazier than usual, is the fact, and I think most of you have already seen my Instagram page, the fact that I am expecting I was carrying my fourth child during the whole portion of the MCO, right? And on top of that, I had to make a few really difficult decisions that really tore us as a family apart because, again, there's no one else here besides myself and Joe, and because we want to comply to the MCO. When I had to go for my doctor visits, for instance, it was very tough for me because I've got my 4-year-old, and at the same time, you don't want to take him with you for your doctor visits, so you have to go alone for the doctor visits. But there were some certain decisions that I needed my husband or my partner to be there with me, so it was a little bit tricky because then macam mana lah, takkanlah saya kasi tinggal sa anak yang 4 tahun kan seturang kan. So we sort of like gradually got the girls ready to be alone with their adik, so that's that. And I'm just letting you all know for reals now that I was expecting my 4th child. And let me just take a look at some of the footage that we've already started compiling. I'm sorry, this is very kalang
some news for you. Mama and Papa's got some news for you. I just got back from the doctor. And you are expecting an adik.
Again? Huh?
Akak! Biar betul!
Mama, please. I don't want to think of Isidore part 2.
So Mama is 7 weeks pregnant. That's why Mama,
How?
I don't know, but it's a blessing.
Oh my god! I don't want another Isidore. Yay!
Why do you want another Isidore? How about another Iman? You want another Isidore or another Iman?
Another Iman.
Oh wow. You want another baby?
Yes!
Mama actually knew a week ago. Of course, both of us were shocked because I was vomiting and I thought I'll buy a pregnancy kit from the pharmacy. And you were right. Remember when you suspected something? What did you say? What did you think when you saw Mama? When you asked me? You asked Papa. Remember that day when we went to buy the fish again?
Remember you said, are you pregnant? Is Mama pregnant?
What did you say? Remember you asked Papa in the parking lot?
Is Mama pregnant?
Why did you think that way?
Because big tummy. Look.
Man, yeah, why are you laughing? Huh? Are you seeing Mama's fat?
A lot of things that I want to talk to the kids about, the concerns that I had. One of them was because this is my 4th pregnancy and the 4th cesarean, meaning the 4th surgery. So when Isidore was,
You do natural.
because after Iman was born, hers was an emergency Caesar. I cannot. It would be very dangerous for me to go natural. I have to wait because for him we had to go earlier. A full a full term baby is 40 weeks. We decided to have him at 37 and a half weeks. So for Mama, I have to try and go at least until 36 weeks, but not more than that, because we don't want the baby to be too big, because my uterus lining is very thin now. That was another reason that Mama and Papa were very conflicted with regards to us finding out last week about me being pregnant. When you suspected that I was pregnant, you were right. We couldn't tell you then because we had some decisions that the both of us had to make. So I hope you guys are happy.
Are you happy?
I'm gonna be a bit
Are you
pain.
happy? Are you happy about why? What's wrong about?
Iman, you're gonna have a real baby again. Not a pretend doll.
But why are you not happy?
Can't we have a cat?
You have a cat?
Because I'm allergic to.
Why are you happy, Iman?
I don't know why I'm happy.
The
just happy.
baby on the moon.
Baby on the moon? Oh. So, but then there'll be another if he's another Isidore, how? She's going to disturb you, fight with you?
If this is another Isidore, I'll be no.
Oh wow, Isidore, look what you started.
I bring the house.
You bring the
If it
house.
was a good Isidore,
Yeah.
then I'll be a yes.
Oh, but you wish for what? A boy or girl?
Girl.
Put the
Girl. Oh, so if it's a girl, Papa and Mama, we came across this name. The name is Isla.
my name
Isla
is
Daniela Iking Azmi.
If it was a boy,
Yes.
Boy, there are a few.
Look
Isa,
at this, Papa.
ISA, like Isa, like the prophet Isa, or Elon, ILAN.
Papa, look
But it's just an idea.
Papa.
A-N.
Yeah,
This,
like
Papa.
Elon.
Look at this, Papa.
Yeah.
Look at this.
AN, like you, Iman. Sounds like you. Elon sounds like Iman.
So we broke the news after we finally made that decision. Admittedly, and again, we'll have a more wholesome vlog with regards to the whole journey. We just wanted to share snippets of our news with you guys, especially those who have been regulars on our show. Yeah, we were very conflicted initially because of the fact that we were told that this pregnancy was going to be very dangerous, and it would affect my health because my uterus lining was very, very thin. In fact, the doctor had actually told me to ikat ba yang the third time around because they bilang so dangerous already for you because you were already almost bleeding internally. But we thought, we're going to be fine. Don't worry. We'll do whatever it takes to ensure we're not pregnant. And then I found out I was pregnant, which put us in a bit of a spot. And I think it really affected me because I saw the baby during the ultrasound, and for the first time I saw my husband cry because I went out for a while, popped out from the clinic to go and pee, thinking that I had to keep my pee. And there was a lot of things that were going on. For 2 weeks we were battling this conflict between us, to abort or not to abort, and it was a very difficult choice. I don't even like using the word abort. DNC, termination. It's just so many pregnant women are very conflicted about abortion, and they don't even want to talk about this with their own mothers. Fortunately for me, I was able to talk to mom, and she told me to pray to God, look for the signs, which we found eventually. And again, I'll share more of that in my vlog. But I wanted to also talk to you about this really important concern where, do you know that abortion is only legal here in Malaysia if it affects the physical well-being of a mother? So for instance, if it is detrimental to her health or the baby's health, then you are allowed to have an abortion or termination. But if it's something that is just, something that has something to do with your mental state being, it's still a little bit grey area. So I managed to speak to Farah Putri Negara Barum, who coincidentally is a junior in my schooling days. During my schooling days, she is a clinical psychologist and founder and director at We Care Allied Health Center. So I spoke to her a few days ago. I pre-recorded this. It's interesting because almost half of all pregnancies are unplanned. Between 10 to 20% of women are still uncertain about whether they should have an abortion when they come in for their procedures. So it's alarming. It's quite a figure of stats there. And some don't even bring it up with the man that they've become pregnant with. Everyone has an opinion about abortion, but for the women who are in the situation, figuring what's right or wrong, it proves to be very complex. So again, I speak to Farah, and this is what she has to say. Let's take a look.
There's a lot of stigma attached to abortion. I mean, I'm sure you have heard a lot of things around, but one of the things that usually, because I do have some clients who have talked about it and things like that, one of the things that they talk about is they feel that they're very judged by the community. For example, there's this portrayal of a person or a woman, you're supposed to want to have kids, and if you don't want to have kids, that's already weird. Okay, belum abortion lagi, it's just about that first. And then when you decide to have an abortion, obviously it depends on the reason as well. But regardless, a lot of people still think that that's the wrong thing to do, because in some people's perception, abortion is about, it feels like it's killing another person or another human being. I think that's where the stigma comes from. Especially then if you bring in the religion, that's another issue altogether. If you were to do an abortion, the doctor will only agree if there is if it's a threat to yourself.
Okay.
Or maybe there are some cases where if it's a threat to the child, to the baby, but not much of that, it's more to the mom.
So it's more of a physical. But what if mentally you're not ready for a child, regardless of the fact that you are a single mom or someone like me who's happily married, but I'm concerned more about, can I cope? I'm 42 years old. He's 51 this year. Financially, we're already feeling the pinch. I don't think I want another baby. I'm done. I did have the health concerns. The doctor did have that concerns, but admittedly, that was my main concern. Is that considered detrimental to a mother's health? Because our mental being is not really considered, I don't know, here in Malaysia, is it acknowledged?
That is a good question actually, because obviously as a mental health professional, I would think mental health is an issue. Again, if you actually you're not really well yourself, how are you gonna get have another child to take care of. But if I am not mistaken, and please to the lawyers and the people out there, yang saya tahu, if right now it is if it's a physical threat to the mom's safety. So that would mean kalau it can kill the mom, or it can do something really really bad to the mom, then usually they would actually do the procedure. So maybe it also depends on the doctor to see depending on what his or her judgment is. But usually memang mental health is not an issue in there lah, because even right now we are actually fighting a lot of things about mental health actually. So it's kind of tiring. Some people in Malaysia do not actually accept that mental health is an issue. It's about, you just have to buck up and just do it lah. What's the big deal? All you have to do is just manage your stress and it's done. So in general level, it's already like that. So obviously for a lot of people, it is not an issue. You're supposed to be able to do it. Why are you so weak? That also you cannot do. So this kind of stigma will come in. You want to be a killer just because of that? Wow, you're so selfish, is it? So those kind of things will come out. So unfortunately, I don't think we're in that stage at this moment.
When we were contemplating whether to proceed with the pregnancy or not, we actually went to a few doctors. However, the final doctor actually did say, if you're not mentally prepared, it affects your mental being.
Yeah.
That is a reason for you, a valid legal reason for you to go and proceed with the termination, which put us in a spot, because that was he said, but because I am in a fertility clinic, of course we don't do it. It just goes against the policy of our clinic, because we're fertility. We are trying to encourage more women to get pregnant. However, yes, I will give you the recommendation if you decide to do this and you've thought it through. So he was one of the few doctors that we met who acknowledged the fact that if you are mentally unprepared, that means your well-being is not prepared for birth. So the good news here, Farah, is that there are people who are considering mental health is just as important as your physical being also. So that's great.
It also depends on the values of the doctors, I guess. So you're quite lucky you actually met that person.
I know, and that's why we stuck with him actually.
Because that is very rare actually.
Yeah, I and that's where I felt, oh my God, this is the doctor that I want. He tells my husband and I exactly what I felt. I think the value went, it aligned. However, we couldn't proceed. I couldn't proceed, at least, with determination. And I'm glad I didn't. But having said that, because I work with a lot of unwed pregnant single moms, most of them are teenagers, and it was so easy for me then to say to them, kalau tak nak, sebenarnya you boleh tau. And I've got a lot of young Muslim girls that come to the transit home and they say, tapi macam mana ya, bukan kita berdosa ke? And in terms of religion, if it's 120 days below, I think it hasn't formed, or it doesn't have a roh or something. There's an actual fatwa with regards to that. But having said that, it's so easy for me to advise. But now that I am in that situation, it's a little bit tricky, when you're actually put to that spot where everyone's saying you made that decision, doctor's telling you, your husband's telling you, and you're making that decision. Why is that so hard? How it will affect me in the future?
Okay, so basically, number one that we should actually look into is why they actually want to terminate it. If it's, for example, it's because of medical reason and actually suggested by the doctor, sometimes it makes it easier, sometimes it's not. It depends on how much they want the baby lah.
Right.
So I've got a client who, the doctor said you need to abort your baby because something to do with the brain, dia punya area kepala dia punya
Baby kah mami dia?
wasn't formed.
Oh, anak dia?
Anak dia. So because
How old was the fetus at that
it
time?
was really hard on her. I think she had like depression. It was really hard for her to get through that.
How old was the fetus at that time for your client? Do you remember?
I don't really remember, but I think it was a few years ago. I think 4 to 5 months.
Yeah,
Because she was so happy. It was the first child, and then that was it. There are other individuals who decided that they want to have an abortion because they're not married, and that's not they broke up. But this is when I was overseas lah. So it was at the place that I was at the time, it was legal to do abortion lah. If you wanted to, then you do lah. So she said, yes, I want to do it because I'm a single person, I'm not married, and I've got my career ahead of me, blah 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 blah. So she went for it. It was her decision, but she felt so guilty after that. She actually, I would say, she was having depression for a couple of months to 1 year because she felt so guilty, and a lot of things actually triggered her. For example, every time she looked at a baby, she looked, when you're watching a movie and there's like a family, like a mom and a child, then she will start like having triggers. She will start crying. She will say, oh my god, it could have been me, what have I done, I'm a killer. So there's a lot of things that actually goes on in your mind, especially when you abort a baby. Obviously it's like beranak lah kan. So hormonally pun you are not 100%. Obviously siapa kita yang already beranak, you know how it feels like you're gonna like be not balanced. So this is one of that lah.
Can you get over being depressed?
You can. It depends on the level, but you can. Sometimes with good family support, if you have a partner who understands, if you've got family members who understand, you can get through it. But if it's severe, you need to see a mental health professional, and it will take some time lah. Because usually it's about guilt and shame. We have to remind her to talk about why actually you chose this hard path and what's the benefit to it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this last minute request. Thanks, and I'll keep you updated with regards to this, okay? So that was Farah, a friend of mine who's also a clinical psychologist, and I would like to just put a disclaimer here on behalf of her.
So you know the
issues.
boy or girl,
Wait.
Oh,
Wait.
So how many weeks already?
Okay. Right, and just quickly before we go into other videos, just a disclaimer on her behalf. The issues discussed related to the topics of abortion reflects a professional opinion, as the duty is to help individuals get through their mental and emotional difficulties. It was actually a longer interview, but I had to cut short it. And again, all that will be published in a mini documentary that I plan to publish sometime soon when I can get my act together. Ass and act together. Anyway, there's also another reason why I've kept my pregnancy a secret, simply because from previous experience, and some of you know this, I've actually written an article about this in the Star. I will link that article in my caption later on once this whole live is over. And it was really harsh to know that there is discrimination with pregnant women, pregnant performers. So I've kept that quiet. The only thing is, when I kept it very, very quiet, too much of a secret for Isidore, my third child, it made me a little bit depressed because I was not able to share what was very good news. So when we decided to proceed with this fourth pregnancy, Azmi actually spoke to me and said, why don't this time around, you are able to tell at least your closest friends, family, you don't have to hide it anymore. And because I'm sure they would be able to keep the secret and stuff like that. So I decided to tell friends, and I wanted to record it. But at the same time, we wanted to do, I've never had a baby shower. I'm not like my sister Michelle and Iking, who throws baby showers, baby sprinkles, whatever shower, simply because I'm not that sort of person. But my husband said, since this is your last pregnancy, let's throw you one, and that's when you can actually announce it to your closest friends. That didn't happen because of the MCO, so I decided to start telling friends over Zoom calls and video calls, and wanted to tell them personally, FaceTime and stuff like that. Again, I've got some of the footages of that. We will be showcasing that. But for those who I personally met and was able to break the news to them face to face, this is their reaction.
So you know the boy or girl or that?
No, the test is not yet.
Oh, so how many weeks already?
13.
Nice.
14 this Wednesday.
Beautiful. Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations, guys.
Well, I'm pregnant.
Oh no! Oh no!
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah, brother, fourth one, bro. Can you guys stop getting pregnant? Because then what?
Hey, we were clear about the intention and we specified.
I don't know what you're all doing.
It's been happening for planning for months, okay?
Every time you guys get pregnant, we get pregnant.
Okay, so you're 18 and I'm slightly older than you, so I'm 20 and I'm pregnant.
Are you sure? No, right? You are? No, you're kidding.
Yes. Macam tidak percaya kan? I wouldn't lie to
That's why I had
something,
to ask
man.
your doctor.
Look at the beautiful view.
We are here to celebrate with my girlfriends the fact that I am expecting my fourth child. I am pregnant. Oh my god! Oh seriously? No, I didn't. You're bullshitting.
I'm pregnant.
What are you drinking? Okay, lucky is
I'm with my bestie. What you meant to say? I'm pregnant. Really? I thought you suspect actually because of my mom's big mouth.
What do you think?
Already thinking ahead.
I'm pregnant. Serious? Yes. So that's why I've been so ill.
You're
benar.
in Amsterdam.
You're benar. Cannot be.
My period.
Cannot be because you
That's
had
my
period.
period.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Sorry. And the whole world now knows now. You had your period when you first arrived.
I wish I could go skiing with you. But I can't. Because I'm pregnant.
Oh please, rubbish. Whatever.
Kau tak percaya?
No.
Kau tak percaya?
Freaking way. I don't. No.
Why I asked you about the gynae just now?
No. No. Are you?
I'm fucking pregnant. Knock me up again.
So this is my beautiful friend Sophie.
So sexy over you ah.
Yes.
Hey, tutup.
And I just want to tell my good friend Sophie that I'm expecting my fourth baby. Is that on your social media? They'll be on my blog. Yay, congratulations! I'm serious. Are you serious? Yes.
Because I'm pregnant with my fourth child.
Are you kidding me? Cheers! Cheers!
You make me like bodoh like that though.
You don't believe her?
Dude, this Ribena says it all.
I would love to go on date with you, but
What do you have?
Oh, I'm watching back all those footages. I've got so many other footage. The Salapets, of course, I mentioned it to Hani and Dinas, but then I didn't get to meet the rest. So we had a house party. I Zoomed them. I managed to speak to other family friends along the way. But again, all that will be out in a proper documentary. Documentary kavagodao konon. Tai. But yeah, that's just some of the early videos that I managed to compile. And that was that. It was a surprise for them. It was still a surprise for me. So yeah, we kept it quiet for a while, and I think there's so much about me that's so open in the public, but there's some things that I'd like to just keep between the family for personal reasons, and I think that was something that I just wanted to share amongst close friends and family. Anywho, we did that shot. If you saw my Instagram post, we did that shot because I was so good at keeping it quiet, or trying to, that I forgot to do an actual photo shoot. Because after speaking to my doctor, we went through a few doctors before I was finally convinced with one who made me feel very safe. And yeah, what was I gonna say? Finally, that's when I realized, oh no, baby, we haven't done a pregnancy shoot. and the D-Day is coming soon. So we went to do our shoot together, and I said, not knowing if I'll survive, I know there's sometimes I can be a negative person too, but I said, what if I don't survive? At least we've got one Raya shoot together, right? So we did one Raya shoot together, and that's the picture that you saw. And then it was the day. Take a look.
Wow, what was the new fashion?
Right. This is like called the gunny sack.
Wow. This is it. I think this our six kids. You know. I just gotta stop my cock from, making more kids.
Snip, snip lah. I snip, you snip.
I don't think you like that also. What if you snip the cock and then
No,
after
you
that,
don't snip your cock. You snip your sperm making factory part.
and then after that cannot
Your cock
perform?
can still go up. What?
We don't know. Why you cannot perform? Cannot be hard. My libido goes down. How? Then you're gonna leave me because I won't satisfy you.
No lah, you probably leave me.
So Raya nanti pun dekat hospital?
Korang.
Orang tu?
Saya cuti dia Raya.
All I am. It's just like football. When you tell people who you love that put which team and where, who was the congrats
Boy, girl.
Boy.
Oh.
The latest new
Iking Azmi, yes, of course, always.
sayang mama.
Oh no. Ilon.
So with that, ladies and gentlemen, to all my regulars who have been with us since MCO, just supporting us. We didn't know actually where this live show would take us, but here we are, joining force, collaborating with YouTube and Google Malaysia, and I decided to do this show. I didn't know how I was gonna manage to do it, because yesterday I came back from the hospital and I said I didn't know if I had the energy to do this, but when I commit to something, I commit all the way. And that is the reason why when I said I'm not going to terminate this pregnancy because I want to keep the child, so many people are trying so hard to have or to be pregnant, like my sister's one of them. And that's why there's the significance of my IG posts, my feed of late. There's a story behind it. So I'm one determined chick, and you can tell how determined I am because I have now with me Ilon Daniel, Iking Azmi, who was safely born on the 21st of May at 2:35 p.m. at Thompson Hospital, Kota Damansara. It was a very difficult journey because I was trying my best to be strong, and we had to keep it all in. The risk of him being premature, he is slightly premature, but the risk of him being premature was very, very high. And I was having so many disputes with my husband because he said, like, you need to calm down, because you need to make sure that you're okay. We have to go past at least the 27th week. It's so important, and that's why I'm so happy to announce that this is Ilon. It's spelled I-L-O-N, Daniel, like Isidore Daniel Iking Azmi. Ilon was chosen by my husband. He normally gets first dips on the names. first people asked me, like close friends and family were like, Elon ka, like Elon Musk, in a way, because he likes Tesla. And so yeah, it's my baby boy. We had no idea. We thought if God was going to give us a surprise, imagine I was on, okay, not him, me. He was on the condom, pacut atas parut. I was on my first day on my pill, habis kan, saya punya kejarawat keluar-keluar, terus saya punya doktor bilang, mankali, you know, because you stopped taking the pill for a while, maybe you should resume that, and we'll see if it's that is the concern, or if it's something else with regards to, because I felt I had early menopause or something. So I was on my first month of my pill. Dia pakai kondom, dia pancut lagi atas parut, and because kan this old Catholic girl inside me tidak juga lari-lari juga ba, so I count days juga ba. Bayangkan semua tu terjadi juga. So it's meant to be. And there were so many signs, which again I will share over my vlog. And yeah, guys, I'm a mom to Ilon Daniel, Iking Azmi. There you go. Say hello. Dia baru habis menyusu. I have to monitor him for jaundice because premature babies will normally have their jaundice monitored or seen much later. I really have to say thank you to Dr. Navdeep Singh, my OMB, Dr. Koo, my anesthesiologist. I hope I pronounced that correctly. She was amazing. Both these doctors were recommended to me by my friend Sue, who went through 4 Caesars, and that is why I was very confident after seeing him. Dr. Ling, who's our pediatrician, who will be observing and monitoring the little one. And he said that if the jaundice appears the next few days during Raya, then I'll just go to emergency. Inshallah tak ada apa-apa. I've got my family and friends.
Which hospital?
From Thompson Hospital, Kota Damansara, which was a blessing in disguise because it's so near home. And thanks to Farah Barum, who I managed to slot in earlier on for a pre-recorded, because I just wanted to make sure that I get her in the event that we weren't able to do this live, and I was able to get this said. A big thank you to Stem Cell, because we managed to get them on board also, thinking that this is our final kid. And confirm saya sudah tengok saya punya fallopian tube kena potong. Saya tengok, saya bilang kasih tunjuk saya itu apa proof. I actually asked that, macam saya mamai kan sana operating room, saya bilang mana kasih tunjuk saya mau proof, and he showed it to me. And all my family and friends, you know who you are. Those who sent in, that was one thing during the MCO. I realized I didn't have time to shop for any of my baby clothes, because one, I've been giving away all my pre-loved to my transit homes and to other moms out there without realizing, like, oh my god, I'm gonna get pregnant again, because that was not really planned. So I had friends who sent baju over, so I want to say thanks to my sister, who has an abundance of clothes because she always overshops. There's Sabrina, there's Cheryl, there's Christine, Pigeon came on board. Pigeon is an interesting story, which I will share with you guys on a different live together, because that was just a crazy sign. I kid you not, okay, on the whole pregnancy journey. Offspring, who else? A lot of people, and I will acknowledge you guys one by one in a special post. Tanah Merah, oh well done, Iman. Tanah Merah, because I don't have a confinement lady, because it's Raya and also the MCO, so I'm doing confinement on my own, and that's about it. So yes, thank you all for joining us for this exclusive live, and yeah, so this is my daughters.
Hi.
We showed the fact that you were really upset on getting a baby. Baby, you wanted a cat, but now that you see Ilon, what do you think?
He's cute.
He's cute?
Yeah.
Do you like the fact that you got another baby brother? Isidor's sleeping. Isidor's such a champ. He's just been such an amazing... Kaka and Iman had to look after him while Papa was away at the hospital. You made pasta, right? I heard. At 1 o'clock in the morning to get ready for sahur?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she cooked pasta. she did the laundry and she ironed because she knows that I can't have unironed clothes. So well done, guys. This has been quite a challenge, and it's been great. And we're all converting my library, so it's all on the ground floor right now. My bedroom, our bedroom, everyone's bedroom, so that we can sort of like, you know, Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. And I'm not sure if I know there's a lot of people who's been commenting and saying congratulations. Thank you so much. Anything else you want to add, Papa? Beautiful? Yeah, so some people are saying save our life. We will indeed. So I guess that's about it. Tata Titi Tutu, I hope you guys are having a fantastic Raya at home. I'm sorry, I know I owe some people posts, replies, emails, etc. I didn't expect this to just happen so fast. It was supposed to be after Raya. And yeah, so thanks again, everyone. Goodbye, take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have another interesting show, but this is our first news that we wanted to share with you guys exclusively on Raya. Sama Raya, guys.